Hi, hello, hi. Welcome to episode 38 of the All Night Gamers podcast. Tonight we've got a wide variety of topics to discuss, but before we get into any of that, give a big round of applause for our regular host Grant for finally graduating college.
And Alex too.
Well done, Grant.
And Alex too.
I'm not great.
Oh well, you finished finals, so that counts.
And
Yay!
Alex finished
Woo!
finals,
Yeah,
but Grant's graduating.
Woo! Yay! Crab rave.
yeah.
I didn't ask for that.
I've,
Nope, that's why I asked to be the host.
Okay.
Uh,
I have
Also,
two classes left to graduate.
Close enough. Also, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Happy
forgot that
Mother's
was a
Day.
thing.
We are recording on Mother's Day
Yep.
because Grant's about to go to Disney
Show am.
as a celebration of graduating.
Yup.
He will be at Disney when this goes live. I am quite jealous. Um, so this week we've got Nintendo announcing new games. Old games have started to die. Uh, we've got a little bit of Modern Warfare 2 news. We are reviewing Apex Legends Season 9 and Resident Evil 8. Then we're going to go into Collector's Corner. And then we've got a lot to talk about for tidbits, and we're going to wrap up with Nintendo's fiscal report for 2020. So let's get started.
Yeah. Game Builder Garage. $30, June 11th, right?
I think so, yeah.
I saw the tweet
Yeah,
the other
it
day.
is 30.
It is 30. I don't remember the date.
So
but I
yeah,
think
Nintendo's done with
June
games.
sounds right.
They're-
Nintendo's done with games. Make your own.
Yeah, they did it with Mario.
Just
Now they're
like
like,
they were
this is
doing with
great. We
Mario.
don't have to do anything. You just make it yourself.
Let's go.
So that's a thing. It looks pretty basic, but I mean, so did the Labo Garage, and people did some pretty cool stuff with that. So
Hmm. And this is going to be a bit more accessible, especially since it's cheaper than Lavo.
yeah, it's not restricted to the hardware of cardboard.
Cardboard.
Oh yeah, I wonder how like in depth the software is actually going to be. Like what all you can do with it.
Yeah, it looked like it was a coding, block coding language. So it'll be interesting to see what people can actually do with it. I think it's going to be impressive just how much the boundaries are reached.
I haven't done block
Probably
coding
broken.
since working with servos in high school, making those marble machines.
Mm. Yeah, high school was the last time I did block. Well, no, I guess that wasn't block coding.
Is
Yeah, high school
Verilog
was the last
considered
time I
block
did
coding?
it. Is what?
Is Verilog considered block coding?
I haven't used Verilog, so
Okay.
let me look.
I don't think so. I mean, it's a different kind of thing, but like, oh well, that's not important.
Yeah,
for the
no,
show.
block. When I think of block coding, I think you're dragging and dropping
Yeah, no, that's not Verilog.
already
Never mind.
pre-assigned things.
Verilog is like coding hardware. Like,
Verilog looks like assembly to me.
it is definitely not. It is worse.
Oh, thank
Yeah, and assembly's already bad.
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, totally wrong thing there. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha
Omega-
Sapphire copies starting
Yep.
to die. Yeah, I remember Mayo talking about that earlier in the week. That's
so-
nerve wracking.
Right now, it's only copies in Europe. Certain PAL codes are breaking. From what I've seen of it, it's not currently an issue with other games, but if everyone is right on it, then other old DS games might start dying just because the hardware that they use to create or to store all the memory for the games is only slated to last 5 to 15 years or something like that. So
Yeah, I think I remember reading the article that
Yeah.
it could possibly be attributed to a bad batch of flash memory.
Yep.
But it also could be that they just didn't use that good of flash memory overall.
yeah, I'm pretty sure some people brought up the fact that it's just probably not great anyways.
Was it across like multiple countries?
I don't remember seeing anyone say that it was multiple countries.
Because that would I could buy the Bad Batch thing if it was like a specific country's shipment or something.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know no one has mentioned America getting hit yet, so that's good. Um, I know there were several YouTubers saying that they were going to start making videos on how to back up all your old games, which not a bad idea. It's
Yeah, I mean, like most games, when I think of like they're gonna die someday, is like it's fine. Like emulation's always gonna be a thing, and it's already pretty good. Like it's damn near really good today. Um,
for most systems. There's a
um,
couple of DS games that do not run
but
very
well,
well.
for something like the DS, like that's pretty hardware specific. It's just a lot more clunky to play it on something that isn't a DS. Like with
Yeah.
most games, it's just a controller. Like you just plug it in and it's fine. Or even like on the PSP, like it's pretty much a controller with a screen on it.
Mm,
Or the Vita or whatever. So it's not that
yeah.
hard to map onto like an Xbox controller or something. Um, and like most old weird controllers, like sometimes use it trying to map an N64 game to an Xbox controller or something is clunky. But there's so many companies making USB versions of like N64 controllers, GameCube controllers, and they're not like they're not great quality compared to like OEM stuff, but they work fine. I have a couple of USB N64 controllers just for that reason because I hate trying to do it on an Xbox controller. Um,
Yeah.
and also, people also make adapters to like use first party stuff. So, but something
Yeah.
like the DS, yeah, that doesn't look good. I'm just
There were a
not.
lot of third-party GameCube controllers once the Smash ones released in 2014. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Now like GameStops carry them on the reg and
Mm,
stuff. Um, I I just don't like the idea of trying to use a DS touchscreen as a mouse. Like you have to use your mouse. I'd assume it's like the only way.
yeah, it's the
So
same with like
games
Wii
like
U games. Like I
The
don't
World,
want to play those. Like if it's not a direct port, I don't want to play it on non-original hardware because that sounds awful.
also games like The World Ends With You and Ace Attorney and something else that my mind's not. They all use the mic.
Which you could
There's
do.
some,
I mean, I mean, if there's the emulators probably have a mic input on the setup.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure.
keyed to a button, which
Yeah,
okay,
I'm sure there's some emulators
it
that lets you
doesn't
like
work
use your
right.
mic too, like use your actual microphone. But that
That
just
just
it's
all
clunky.
sounds awful
Yeah, it's
though.
very clunky. Or like something like I don't know. I guess you could make it work with the standard keyboard and mouse setup, but um I don't know why Call of Duty is the first thing coming to mind, but Call of Duty like you had to aim
Call
with
of
the
Duty
touchscreen and
DS.
move with the face buttons or whatever. Like that just I mean, you could probably map it easily well too. That might actually work decently. But some try to you have to like move like Phantom Hourglass for tracks you have to use the touch screen. Things like that. That does not sound good at all, no.
Yeah, no, that
So
sounds
that very
awful.
much is worrying. I hope I'm not ready to watch my games wither away in front of me. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue moving forward. And that's not just the flash memory games either. Like
Nope.
all the disc games,
Discs
they're
have disc rot.
eventually.
I mean,
Yep.
all those chips, like chips go bad, so cartridge games are not going to be infinite either. EEPROM doesn't last forever. So,
Yeah, it's not great.
and we're already starting to we're getting close to 40 years on those NES games.
Hmm.
So,
Which is honestly insane.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
Not
I
good.
don't like it.
Nope. Uh,
But there is this doesn't work for every developer, but Nintendo does tend to have all their stuff preserved. So
I'm sure
they
every
just
company does that, right? You'd think.
You
No,
would hope, but they don't.
Mass Effect lost like a full game, and I know Square Enix had to rebuild, or they lost one of their DLCs for Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Who makes Mass
the company
Effect?
And Square
Just
Enix
Ubisoft?
had to.
Square.
No, Square doesn't make it. I don't remember who makes.
I think it's
Mass Effect.
Ubisoft.
I was using Square as another example because they couldn't find Kingdom Hearts.
No,
EA.
EA.
EA
Oh
makes
no,
it.
BioWare. That's who I'm thinking of. They're the developer, and then EA publishes it.
And
Yeah,
EA publishes
BioWare lost an entire DLC, and they didn't
because
even.
the company that they had make
Well,
the
when
DLC
I mean that, I
did
mean
not
like
store it proper.
Nintendo, Sega, Sony, Microsoft, whoever the hell made WonderSwan, Atari, Commodore.
I feel like
Commodore doesn't exist
Atari
anymore, but
Nintendo's like the best though, since they can just pull it out. Everyone else kind of has like an example where they lost code. Because Square couldn't find the original copy of Kingdom Hearts, so they just rebuilt it for the remaster for 1.5.
does Sony have an example of that? Or Microsoft
not
even? Like I can
not
see
off
like
the top of my head,
software
but I could
developers
probably
doing
find
it.
one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've read them both having that difficulty in the past, but I can't remember an example.
Also, a lot of people take to doing it themselves. There's tons of people out here that have like every game imaginable backed up on a hard drive somewhere.
That's true.
There's also like foundations that were created to preserving games and their hardware. So
yeah, game preservation is definitely something that needs to be worked on. Because, well, I guess not so much it needs to be worked on as it needs to be more accessible. Because like Nintendo definitely has basically every single game that's been released on one of their systems, but
so does millions of other people. There's I can't remember. I think they're called like box set. No, they're not called box sets. What are they called? There's a word for it, and I can't think of it. But it's essentially a name for a complete collection of every ROM file for a certain system.
Huh.
Because I use those to help me create my my game key. No intro ROM sets. That's what they're called. I think that's because the original company that was that they like started doing that was called No Intro, or like the group of people that was doing it. But there's stuff for like, you know, N64, Game Boy, SNES, 32X, Game Gear, all the Atari consoles, all the Commodore stuff, even like the MSX and the PC Engine and the Sega SG-1000. Shout out if you know what that is. So yeah, and all new stuff is digital anyway.
That's true.
But it's just gonna suck knowing one day that you can't pop open the GameCube and put your original disc in. You'd have to make a counterfeit or put like something like a GC loader in there and play ROMs off of it.
Quite unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway, enough being said. Modern Warfare 2 remastered. I love that all the news for this is that it's just delayed. Possibly.
Yeah, I thought it was more, but when I went and found the article, it was apparently just that someone said it was delayed or going to be possibly delayed. So, and that goes for. Apparently, the multiplayer might have been separate, but people are saying there was a leaker that said it's not. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it seems like 2022 now is the big thing I saw for Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I didn't even know they were working on that, but I guess it's all but confirmed at this point.
Seems like it.
Well, hopefully it's good. They better not botch it. I don't know how good to the Modern Warfare Remastered compares to its original, but people don't really care about that one as much as Modern Warfare 2.
And I'm sure they are aware of that.
Yep, but they also might not care because it's Activision Blizzard, and they don't care about anything.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so great discussion on Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Anyway, So Apex Legends Season 9 and Resident Evil 8. Oh my god, dude, Arenas is so good. Arenas is everything I wanted it to be.
I mean, when you're taking an idea from other games, it's hard to screw it up. But they could have.
Yeah,
They didn't, though.
it's EA. You don't expect anything. But yeah, it's so good. It's exactly what I wanted to be. I've been having so much fun. I actually have yet to play Battle Royale again since Arenas dropped. Although I need to, because I need to see the new stuff they added. I've just been so hooked on this Arenas stuff. It's so much
All
fun.
I know about Apex Season 9 is some people are kind of mad about
The bow.
no, the battle pass for this one,
Why is that?
because the paid one doesn't have like as much good stuff as it usually does apparently.
New character is sick. Definitely dig Valkyrie.
I have not gotten the coins for Valkyrie, so I can't say anything. She's weird to fight against, so I'll give it that. She has a lot of movement options and a lot of offense. She's kind of OP a little bit.
Her tactical is so useful for people that are like camping, trying to snipe you. Is so useful, especially in arenas, because I've been playing. I played a little bit before the show, and I had a lot of squads doing that, and that swiftly take care of that. Also, the combo that I've seen on the subreddit of Horizon throwing her ult and then Valkyrie doing the missile thing onto them. That's a pretty deadly combo from what I've seen.
Yeah. And of course, the bow is unbalanced.
Yeah, but I mean, it's basically just a fully charged bow shot is the same as a sentinel shot.
It just loads way faster.
Yeah, it's just quicker. So, but also like, I mean, unless you hit the shots lucky, it's a lot harder to do it up close. Like,
I certainly saw that, but I mean, once the bow's out long enough, it's gonna be bad.
yeah, I'm sure they're gonna nerf it into oblivion or whatever.
They have
unless
to.
The Twitch race like it. If the Twitch race like it, it'll stay. Otherwise, it'll get nerfed. That's how everything happens in Apex.
Twitch liked Wraith and she got nerfed bad. Like,
she didn't really
keep nerfing her though.
Yeah, because
they won't just fix her problem. She's like one thing that if they would fix,
they made her hitbox bigger and they changed her running animation and they
made her hitbox bigger because before her hitbox was glitchy. Like,
true.
It was too small.
But two of the other characters have that same hitbox she had, and they still have them.
Yeah, but they didn't glitch. That's the thing. So they made it. Also, they're trying to even out the selection and win rates on the characters, and Wraith has been the consistent number one in that thing for a long time. So that's why they started doing all those nerfs. Is they're trying to lower, because she had a huge win rate gap over
but they're only trying to do it slowly because they still make a lot of money off her.
Yeah, and also they don't want to like do anything too drastic.
All those nerfs I brought up were all done in 8, all at once. Though it wasn't.
Yeah, but not.
It's not like what.
But they weren't game breaking.
Complete opposite. They did it all at once.
They still didn't fix like her winning though. She still wins a lot.
Yeah. Well, actually, not since Horizon. Horizon has kind of taken over, and also Octane. Those Horizon and Octane have become very popular and kind of leveled out the win rate problem.
What did Octane do that's different? Is it just because of them adding the slide?
I'm not. Well, he got that double jump a while ago, which was pretty good. But you know, like now that as the game progresses, people tend to push more and more, and Octane is really good for that because you can travel huge distances in a very short amount of time. And also, he became so popular, in fact, that they actually nerfed him too a little bit because now you take like a little bit more damage from your stem shot than you used to for the new season. I'm not really sure
Weird.
why the specific reason is. Also, I suspect that people just started to realize he's really fun to play because I had that realization maybe like 2 weeks ago. He's very, very fun to play.
Yeah, I've got a lot of legends I need to unlock still.
Just
Well, 3, but it's
just play until you're level 200, and then you'll have so many tokens you won't know what to do with yourself.
that's true. 'Cause
And
those stop being useful.
Well, you can't really use legend tokens on much besides
The legends, yep.
you can use them on something else. I can't remember what you can use them on, but it's very limited in your options for that. So you just once you unlock all the legends, you just build up a stockpile and
Use them on the next legend.
yeah, I never run out. Like I've always got so many.
one day, you will run out and then go out while I afford the new legend.
The same way he always did, by playing the game.
Yeah. So yeah, season 9 is very good. I'm enjoying it a lot. So I guess on to Resident Evil 8 then. It is also very good. Very much enjoying that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very very tense. I wouldn't say it hasn't been as scary to me as Resident Evil 7, and I suspect that's because Resident Evil 7 was the first Resident Evil I had played in a while. But now I've played 7 and like I think I'm like a third of the way through Resident Evil 2. So I'm like kind of tempered a little bit.
I think 7's scarier because you're in Louisiana. Everything's like pretty close to like home, and also it's all like kind of decrepit. Nothing in like there's oh no, all the furniture's destroyed. Okay. Like the scariest things for me in 8 so far have been the onslaught pack where I burned like 100 bullets because I wasn't running. I was just fighting the onslaught of the wolves.
Oh yeah.
And her chasing me now. Those have been the scariest things.
Yeah, another thing to notice is that I've been finding a lot more ammo and things to make heals and more ammo out of in this game so far than I had ever did in 7.
They did say they changed it a bit based on 7. So
that was another thing that made 7 so tense is I was always very low on ammo.
7 you had like none, and then they'd be like, hey, here's 3 molded. You have to fight them or you can't get past this. Bruh, I have no shots.
And they were aware of that.
Yeah, and so like while it's more frustrating to have that kind of gameplay, it's also more tense. It's very much, adds to the experience.
Yeah.
So like,
especially
like in Resident Evil 8, like I've been, like startled once or twice. But like, I'm never really like continuously worried because I'm like, oh, I've got 50 bullets. I'm fine.
Oh, I have 100 right now.
Yeah, see? And
yeah. But I bought a lot from Duke.
Oh yeah. There's also an item shop now. You can just buy heals and bullets.
And I have 3 guns. I have the regular gun, which I've upgraded some. I have the shotgun that you can pick up while you're running away from the wolves.
Yep.
And I have Albert Wesker's gun from the pre-order.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm like, yay! I can keep all 3 loaded for when I'm surprise attacked.
Also, the hits don't seem to do as much damage. That also might be because I'm way better at guarding than I was when I first started Resident Evil 7.
I'm doing a lot of headshots, which is where you get a lot of the damage.
Same. I learned that too.
I'm really worried because I found this out. Because I got a little lost. You can be at the same time you're being attacked by her, like she's hunting you, one of her daughters can show up. So you can be attacked by both at the same time.
Amazing.
I'm very scared that will happen to me when I head back towards the second mask.
Yeah, also the enemies, like the enemies that are throughout so far, take a lot less bullets to kill. So it might not have been in 7 that I didn't find enough, like a lot of ammo. It was that I had to use a lot of ammo.
True. The molded needed so
yeah,
many.
the molded were very hard to kill.
And Jack needed a lot to
Yeah.
stagger.
Yeah.
I think the scariest part so far maybe have been you know the wine cellar where it's all bloody, like full to your
yeah,
legs,
yeah.
and they jump out of the water.
Yeah, I don't
That's kind of been the scariest, just because I got kind of attacked by a bunch at the same time. They all kept jumping out of the water. It wasn't really scary. It was just like, please stop. I'm burning so much ammo.
Yeah, like I don't know, the atmosphere is there and it's a great game. I love the story. It's just not as like intense, I don't think, as 7 was.
I'm
Not that that's
cool with
necessarily
it,
yeah,
though.
not that it's a bad thing necessarily, you know. It leads more towards the storytelling and the puzzles and stuff. And it's like fun and it looks great, it runs great, plays well. Um it's just
I
not
do
as
think
intense.
I think it helped 7 though. You're in like a decrepit house, which is already really freaky. It's like everything's kind of disgusting. It's not very bright, and when you're outside, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
When
And
you're
you're in the
outside
middle
in
of
village,
you're in the middle of a swamp.
yeah. When you're outside in village, it's day, which helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the setup in 8 is a bit weaker IMO than like in 7. Like you're going there to save your wife. It's pretty cut and dry, but it's it's a solid thing. And in this one, like you're also going to save blank. I'm trying to keep a spoiler light here. So
I
it's
mean,
pretty cut
nothing
and
we've
dry.
discussed hasn't been in the trailer.
But the intro sequence where they take blank, and blank also dies, is like why? And I guess that'll be told to me eventually. But like I feel like this intro needed a bit more setup.
Did you read like when you woke up from the truck? Did you read the note that was sitting next to you?
I think so.
It said something like, "Capture our goals, capture Ethan and blank, kill blank," and it didn't have blank's name. It just said kill something weird. It was very weird how they phrased it. I was like, huh.
Yeah, I don't know, but like again, it's like a really good game. The atmosphere is there. I dig it a lot.
Do you play if you kick the ball into their room, you get an achievement, like while you're carrying, while you're in the house, their house.
Whose house?
Ethan. There's a ball in their room, and if you kick it into the office, it's like goal.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
That's cute.
I was really tense at first moment. I'm like, all right, what's the first thing? Like, how are we gonna get started here?
When you're in the house, I'm like, this is so relaxing. It's so different. Because 2's really intense at the beginning.
Yeah.
3's
Facts.
really intense at the beginning. You're like immediately attacked while just hanging out in Jill's apartment. I've never played 4. I don't own 5 and 6.
I really need to play 4. It's kind of disrespectful that we
It's
have
so
not
weird.
played 4.
I have a
need-
copy
we,
of 4.
We have at least
it's
a
looking at
copy.
me.
if
I
not
have-
We have the
two.
Wii copy.
I have both the GameCube and Wii copies. I
And
just
people
have
love
it.
the Wii copy, and I have it looking at me, and I'm like, I should play it eventually.
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking like I really need to play it because that was like the first really big Resident Evil where everyone was like, "This is the best one," like definitively. So that's really bad that we have yet to play that. But
Yeah, I plan to get to it eventually. I just have a problem with horror games where I can't really play them at night because it becomes.
are you
like
gonna get
10 times.
spooky? Oh, big booba lady gonna come kill you?
Big booba lady. Yeah. Okay, you haven't brought that up yet, but you did say there's some sexual tension in 8, which maybe because you thought that it's also bringing the scariness down a little bit for you.
Well, yeah,
Bro.
they're like they're obviously vampires, like that's the gist,
But
and they want to
it's
eat
like
you because they're
horny
vampires.
goth
But
chicks.
they express their hunger through horny, and that's what makes it uncomfortable. Like the thing we were talking about before the show, where you get blanked and you have to blank yourself off the. This is stupid. You know what I'm talking. The thing we were talking about before, where like it was like you wanted to see how they put you up there or whatever. Like
Yeah,
right
I
before that,
wanted
where
to
you're
see-
hanging there and they're talking, like that's all super horny. They're all like, how are we gonna eat him? Especially the daughters.
What are you
The daughters
talking
are
about?
really.
She comes over and she like licks your hand, and I'm like, stop.
That's horny, bro. That's. I mean, it's also insane. Like they're insane.
How bad.
Yeah, for real.
They actually are though.
She's like the creepiest one, and she becomes so much worse.
Great. Can't wait.
Is that
No, I'm at like the same point at you. I'm just kind of more. I don't know if she's scarier than the other three that hunt you, but she seems more mad than the other three.
Dimitris?
Yeah, because you could be hunted by Jack in 7. You had Mr. X in 2, and you had Nemesis in 3. Nemesis was unrelenting though. I want to
well,
say he
yeah,
could
of
even
course
interfere
Dimitris is
friends.
upset. That's the whole setup of the story. With Mother Duranda and the decision and all that I'm not going to describe. And you know the phone call from the trailer where she's like,
It feels
when I
like
find him, I'm going to cut him into ribbons.
I think Nemesis had more range, but compared to the other two, I think she's got the most range. Like she's second.
Yeah, well, she is like.
Because Nemesis had a
powerful.
rocket launcher, so
What about that,
Yeah.
Dimitris? You don't have a rocket launcher.
just leave me alone so I can solve this damn puzzle.
So yeah, Resident Evil 8 is amazing so far, and I'm sure I speak for Alex too that you should definitely pick this game up. It is worth. It is one of the few games recently that I can say is definitely worth the immediate buy of $60. I think that is even on new generation, including PS5, at $60, which is very pog. So if you don't have it yet and you're looking for something to play, this game is absolutely worth that money. There's not a lot of games where
I
I'm
will
like itching to
say-
buy something at launch nowadays because I've been so muffed by terrible games.
Well, I don't have the thing. Oh, PlayStation Online, because I think it will require it. I'm
PS Plus.
kind of upset that, Reverse wasn't available at launch.
Is it not?
Nah, I
I-
tried to play it and it was like, this service isn't available. So I looked into it and it's been delayed till sometime later this summer.
Nice.
Sad.
Oh well,
Which is
I mean,
upsetting,
I
'cause
didn't buy
I
the game to
actually
play.
like-
I didn't buy the game to play Reverse.
True, I didn't buy it to play Reverse either, but it's a nice addition.
Yeah, true. I will definitely check it out whenever it does come out. So yeah, Resident Evil 8. What would you say? 8 out of 10? 9 out of 10?
I want to play more of it before I give it a definitive score,
Fact.
but I'm having a
First
great time.
first moments, I'd say solid 8 out of 10.
8
That's
for
fair.
Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, 8 for Resident Evil 8. There we go.
Let's go.
I will say I love Capcom's engine that they use, the Resident Evil engine.
Yeah, this new engine is definitely big. I
It's
like
what
it a
they've
lot.
used since 7, and it's such a good engine.
Yeah.
Everything looks great in it.
I agree. The controls are incredibly terrible.
Oh yeah, it's awful. If you've played a Resident Evil game, be prepared for the same controls. I mean, since 7, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, it's no old Resident Evil. Like, it's way better. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not completely terrible controls. Like, I tried to play the remake of the original Resident Evil, and you know that game's fault isn't mostly that the controls are kind of wonky. It all's part of the experience. It's supposed to make it tense. The controls aren't
I
perfect.
picked up
But
0 for like $5
oh, nice.
a long while back, and I'm like, I'm so scared to play this one. Not because I'm actually scared of the game, but because I'm scared of the damn controls. Because it's got the same as 1, and I'm like,
And the camera angles. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the camera angles and I hate the tank controls.
Yeah, it's bad.
All I know about,
You go ahead.
I don't know much about Zero Story. I do know 1 had like a door that you could only open 3 times, and then you would have to walk all the way around the house.
That's bad.
Yeah, because they were like, we need to make this game harder, and I'm like, do you?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to mention this though. This was pretty cool. So, and you would have gotten it as well. They gave something about or maybe you didn't, I don't know. Anyways, I got the deluxe edition pre-order, so some bonus things. One of them is what happened since 7,
Oh yeah.
like a report that breaks down some things. So like it brings up so Mia's brought up and what she's doing since then. Since there was the DLC that had her,
Yeah.
which I don't know if you played Not a Hero.
I don't think I did.
Not a Hero is pretty cool. You play as
Yeah, I finished 7 and I went straight into RE2.
you play as Jack's brother.
Oh. Interesting.
But it also talks about it brings up Spencer Manor from the first, or not Spencer Manor. It brings up the Spencer dude who owned the manor in the first game
That's sick.
that he's been missing, and I was like, that's some cool lore. Maybe they're gonna tie the universe back together because while Chris shows up in 7 and 8, it still doesn't feel as connected.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of saying with the intro. Just feels a little off. Okay, so
Mia seemed meaner.
yeah, true. Big facts. That was a rough intro sequence.
I was like, chill. Like she's not being really mean. It's just a little weird that she's like, and I get it. She doesn't want it brought up, but it's kind of weird that she's like super hostile against it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would be too if I went through that.
Fair.
It's kind of like, post like war veterans sometimes really not wanting to talk about anything related to it because it'll set them off or whatever, So like it's fair. If I went through that too, I probably wouldn't want to talk about it.
True.
So Collector's Corner, the weekly regular segment where we go around and talk about games that we bought and things that we played and all that other good collector gamer type stuff. Cameron, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so this week's kind of sad for me. I spent a lot of it preparing for interviews, most of which probably did not go as well as I would have hoped. So I played Apex with Grant. I have played some Pokemon Snap. I played some Animal Crossing. And I played some Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I just got through Bowser's Castle. I don't remember if there's multiple Bowser's Castles, but the one at the end before you unlock Rosalina. So now I should have every level before then caught up. So I think it's just a matter of finishing the second half of the game. It's a long game. I'm glad I'm not recording it.
Yeah, but
I just need more time, dude. That's why I'm still looking for a job, because if I can get one around here, I free up a lot of time and exhaustion. But yeah, I don't think I bought anything this week. No. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a slow gaming week for me.
all right. Cooper?
I've been kind of chilling, basically. I've been playing, a little bit of Valhalla. Not a lot, though, because I finished it up fast and all, so I was just taking breaks. A good break from that. I'm playing a little bit of OS, a little bit of Fire Emblem Heroes. My new phone came in, finally. It's pretty
Oh, sick.
nice. Yeah. I've been enjoying that. And I've just been relaxing, really. I've been doing a lot.
Big chillin'.
Big chilling.
Big chillin'.
Yep.
Fair enough. Alex?
Okay, this week I played some Persona 1. I obviously played some Resident Evil 8. I didn't have an opportunity to move anywhere in Fates though. Let's see. Feel like it's just been kind of a weird week.
Post finals.
Yeah, that post finals weirdness.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Feel like I played something else, but it's not immediately coming to mind. I did get charged by Nintendo for my pre-orders of what are those?
Famicom Detective.
Yeah, Famicom Detective Club, and I was glad they applied the thing correctly for the deal, where it's like you buy both and you're supposed to get $10 off one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just been a weird week, but I did play at least those two games. I feel like I played something else that's not
I feel like that every week.
there.
I feel like I'm always missing something every week.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two I know I played because I moved decently far in both.
Yeah. Well, okay then. Play a lot of Apex, like Cameron mentioned. A lot of arenas. Resident Evil 8, like Alex mentioned. I got the Steelbook from Best Buy with my pre-order. It's very minimalist, but I dig it. I'm a sucker for a Steelbook, so couldn't pass up on that.
I think
There's a bunch of them on sale right now at Best Buy for like $5.
I think they've had better steelbooks though.
They have,
That one's cool.
for sure. The only reason I don't regret the pre-order getting the Steelbook is because this game is so good. You know, like I said, it's one of the definitely worth the $60 buy.
So did you get the deluxe edition or the regular one?
No, just standard.
I got you.
Played a couple good rounds of zombies past week with some friends up here. Kind of ready for some more content, but it's good as always. And again, here I go. What else did I play? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. I probably played a couple random things on my Switch for like 5 minutes, whatever. Oh yeah, like Cameron said, I graduated. Pog. Going to Disney tomorrow. Pog.
Drop out.
Before it's too late.
Before it's already too late.
No.
Your copy of Ace Attorney come in?
No, it is still being. It's still en route, but it's coming from overseas, so I expected it to take a while. I like looked into who is shipping it, and it was like a company that does worldwide shipping. So I was like, oh, it's coming from like Japan, and it just hasn't gotten to America yet because they give me the tracking number for USPS, and they're just saying like we're waiting on the package to be dropped into our hand. And yeah, I still have right now. It departed Japan on the 30th, and USPS is just waiting for them to get it. So I'm sure it'll come in.
Might actually come in while you're at Disney.
Yeah, it might. I would more expect it to come in the week after, just because it takes a good couple weeks. But yeah, it might come in while I'm in Disney. Luckily, my roommates are here, so it's fine.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that. Are they gonna freak like when you come back? Because they're
Very COVID conscious.
Yeah. Even though
No, I mean like I'm fully vaccinated now, and Jules got her first dose, and like well, we've got a washer dryer in our place. We're gonna be washing clothes and stuff, and You know, like we're gonna be smart about it. We've got like sanitizers and stuff. Um, so I don't think they will. Because like we will have been like we will come to the house clean, and like anything that would potentially have anything on it, which most likely not, is just gonna sit in the hamper until it gets washed. So I don't really think so. I think everything's fine. Um, and yeah, I'm very upset that I can't. I might actually try some remote play. I just thought about that like literally 5 minutes ago. Like if I leave my PS5 in rest mode, I can hit it up from uh, anywhere. So I might try that, even though it's probably going to be trash.
Play it.
I
while
don't
you're
know
waiting
how
in
that would
line
work.
at Disney.
And
Do not play Village like that, though.
But I probably won't, because I remember bringing a lot of stuff last time, and
And then not using it.
I drove the entire time last time, so I didn't play on like the car ride or anything. And
Are you gonna drive the entire time this time?
no, so we're all carpooling and taking one car, and it's not my car that we're taking. And the girl's car that it is, she said that she's used to long hauls like this and is like okay with driving the entire time. Now, obviously, like we've offered, like don't feel like you have to do that. Like if you feel tired or anything, like actually I prefer you to make me drive or something, because I'm not trying to die. But
Dang.
Yeah, it's
no.
what, like a 12-hour trip?
Almost.
about
11.
11 including Atlanta. It's like it's a 10-hour drive if there's nothing in the way. But between it'll probably be like actually close to 12 between stopping for food and going through Atlanta and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a long trip.
It's
too.
a definitely long trip. But I will not be driving the entire time, so I will be probably for at least a good 6 hours or 7 hours of that drive. It could be possibly 12 because also my like Alex could be driving too instead of me, so I could
you're
potentially
probably
not
gonna
drive.
bring something to do.
Well, I've got plenty of Switch stuff. I'm bringing my Switch Lite and probably like a dozen games, just so I don't get bored. But like while I'm actually there, I probably won't play much because
I never do.
either be at Disney or too tired.
Yep, that's what always happens.
But I've got enough stuff to. I basically just got it for the car rides, really. And
neither
you go ahead.
Neither of those trips you've taken to Disney sounds like when we went to Kentucky, and you and Cameron actually switched off halfway through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I also didn't have as much experience on the interstate, especially compared
sure.
to now. God, I hate the interstate.
the time we went 2 years ago, like we drove down to Auburn and like chilled for a little while, and then we drove down to my dad's place and stayed the night, and then got up and drove. So we never drove like the longest trek in a day was from Huntsville to South Georgia, which was only like 7. Plus we had like a good solid because we had lunch with you guys.
Yeah.
So we like took a little break, whatever. And that isn't bad. I can do 3 or 4 hours at a time if I stop for like 45 minutes or whatever.
Which is about long enough to eat.
Yeah, which is about because I also had to like get my granddad's car and do all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then from my dad's place to Disney was only like another 3 or 4, so it wasn't really that bad. But this time we're trying to do it all in a day, so I'm definitely prepared for that. And also, I don't focus too much on the games on the trip, other than like I've got stuff for the car ride to do, but it's kind of good to detox and just not play some stuff and just like do other things. Like it doesn't have to be anything specific or whatever, just like not touch some games for a week, and then you come back and games are a little bit more fun again. It's kind of like
sure.
Like when you stop drinking or whatever for a while and you come back like, wow, this is like one drink, holy crap. It's just a good detox.
Or you could be like me and get sick on car rides playing games and not be able
yeah,
to play
I'm worried about that. I thought about that a lot, so we got a couple different mediary options, but I'm better than it used to be. Also, Jewel has some. Actually, now that I think about it, Jewel has some anti-nausea pills because she gets super nauseous pretty easily. So we're bringing like a pack to Disney between like the huge crowds and the rides and stuff. It's just smart to have some on hand. So I might snag one of those
Yeah.
actually for the car ride. That might be a good idea.
Smart.
Now that I think about it, but yeah. Anyway, back to the podcast that we're totally doing right now.
It's fine. You
uh,
just burned
Skip it
Mayo's
slowly.
time.
yeah, we just burned Mayo's
That is true.
slot. Cooper, you have the floor for Faye.
Okay. All right. So, um, right. All right. So, the following banners out with Edelgard, Dimitri, female Morgan, male Morgan, and Orson as and Orson's the GHB. I mean, it's pretty short. I mean, they're not rough. I mean, the following banner's really cool. Edelgard's broken with like 20 different skills with just her weapon and B skill, which is good. We got a couple weekly and revival banners, and by the time of this podcast release, Resplendent Leaf will be out until May 24th, and yeah, we don't know who's requesting me yet, but yeah. So that's about it.
Well, all right then. Quick apology for the rest of the podcast if you hear some random noises. Similar to last week, the weather is crap in my area today, and it's very loud. So you might be hearing some thunder through the background of my mic, but hopefully not. Hopefully it won't be that bad. Yeah, today's just been really bad weather all of a sudden. Just pretty much all
better
day.
today than tomorrow.
Yeah, facts. So yeah, anyway, Sony has registered a trademark for Sunset Overdrive. I didn't know that Insomniac Games made that game.
Yeah, and Insomniac made Sunset Overdrive.
Well, it's already not console exclusive anymore, so
that is true.
And it's not even on the Microsoft Store, like it's on Steam. So, that'd be cool. PS5 upgrade?
Please? More death?
I think they
revival thing?
it's more like
but
they own it, but I think they have to pay Microsoft if they want to put it on their thing.
I don't know if that's true.
Because I looked into it when I read that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Microsoft.
Just use some of the money you got from selling MLB The Show for Game Pass.
Right.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's a trade-off. They get Sunset Overdrive, and Microsoft got
MLB The Show.
What a weird trade-off.
I don't think they would have agreed to that.
That would be a terrible.
I receive great game. You receive bad game. Speaking of
balance.
speaking of Sony, the PS5 is possibly getting a redesign and will reportedly enter production next year. Now this is just Switch Pro all over again. We're about to go through this all over again from square one with PS5.
No, we're still going through Switch Pro.
Yeah, but like all over again. Like now we're going to be going through two of them.
The only one that people won't.
Right, it just came out.
Microsoft.
All these leakers. There's a new one coming out tomorrow, bruh. No, there isn't.
So it's something they're considering and is potentially there, mostly because given all of the industry shortages going on right now,
they kind of have to.
They are considering doing things like either like redesigning stuff to make manufacturing easier, or like cutting things out, or like changing the hardware that they use, like to not change the performance but to just make it cheaper and more accessible, to increase the amount that they can manufacture. So they just like, I guess something that it was like the CEO talking about it, like we're that's something we could do, is potentially change the architecture a little bit, redesign some of the stuff to make it simpler for manufacturing, that kind of stuff. So that's something that we could do there, or they could do there. But I get, this is literally just Switch Pro all over again.
Yeah, speaking of Switch Pro, since Nintendo has come out and said that there might be some issues with Switch production due to all the chip shortages. People are like, but Switch Pro though, it's still alive and well. Switch Pro
The shortages
is
won't
not gonna
stop them
die.
from doing it.
Yeah.
It's just they're just saying that they have issues making them right now, just like everybody else. And if people weren't freaking scalping everything all the time and causing such high demand, maybe we wouldn't have bad shortages. Scalpers.
I could upgrade my computer, which I desperately need to do, especially while I'm not having to pay loans. Like, I can't, because every time there's a chance,
Well,
it sells out immediately.
the GPUs are on a double-edged sword. They're getting screwed from both ends because not only do you have scalpers buying up stuff to scalp, but you also have crypto miners buying up everything. So they're just getting double screwed. That was
I think I preferred when it
big
was
lightning.
just the crypto miners, because at least they were still. It was still possible to buy a pre-built,
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the NVIDIA light hash cards that they talked about making are actually like not good at doing hash functions instead of just being like some kind of software lock that's going to get hacked inside of a day.
Yeah.
Like they keep trying to do. Because if that actually happens, then that'll help a lot. But we'll see if that's something that's actually, like.
So okay, I don't think I've heard about this. Explain a little if you.
So NVIDIA is talking about making a light hat or hash light series of cards, which is basically the same thing with the same gaming capability as before, but now it sucks at doing cryptographic hash functions, which is the foundation of cryptocurrency. And it's basically just a series of mathematical computations that GPUs are more well suited for compared to CPUs, so that's why they're using GPUs. So NVIDIA is trying to make a series of cards that sucks at doing those, but still does the same level of gaming performance. Yeah. So that way crypto miners won't buy up all of the stock.
Both scalpers will.
And they've tried to implement software locks, but that's not going to work. Hackers are going to get inside of a day. It's happened several times, them trying to do this.
Yeah.
So now they're coming out with this new series that, and by them doing this, it seems like they're doing like some kind of hardware block.
Hardware blocks are typically better.
Yeah, or they might just remove stuff to make it physically bad at hash functions, and there's no it's not like where there's going to be a jumper that just needs to be soldered to enable hash functions. I'm hoping it's like some kind of thing where they
if it's too easy, they're just going to buy them up anyways and be like, I can fix this.
Yeah, or companies are going to buy them up and then resell them like, hey, this is, and they'll be cheaper too.
Sure.
So it's got to be like actually removed hardware for it to even be feasible, really. So we'll see what goes with that.
And not something that's easy to fix, removable hardware.
That's what I mean. Like not something that's like a jumper that's missing, like literally actually a changed architecture or something like that. Okay. E3 has added Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco, Xseed Games, and Marvelous, which is the US version of that. Gearbox Entertainment, Freedom Games, Devious Eye Entertainment, Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach. Do they still make
last time you heard Turtle Beach, dude?
I mean, they still make headphones though, right? Like
I know they
they're
still
like one
do,
of the
but
third party. They're pretty
when was
popular
the last
still.
time?
Yeah, dude, I remember back in the 360 days when Turtle Beach was like the Beats of gaming headphones. Turtle Beach was like the thing because I remember I had like the cheapest version of the Turtle Beaches with like the long wires.
My first headset was a Turtle Beach.
Because my cat chewed up the mic on that. I remember that headset dearly. Yeah, I know. That's just a throwback name. Anyway, Turtle Beach, Verizon, and Binge.com. So more people come to E3. I can't wait for the Verizon showcase.
Ooh, we get our E3 cringe that way. Let's go.
I expect alright, so Square will probably bring maybe something with Tomb Raider, probably not. They're just doing their anniversary, I think, this year. I think they said they had.
Is Alex dead?
Alex dead? He's still green.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. It seems like Alex has died.
So sad. He's
Um,
so young.
anyway, while he's fixing that, Epic apparently wants to use exclusive titles from the three big guys, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. And when all right, we're back. Sorry about that. Our we use Discord to talk to each other while we're recording this podcast, and Discord just kind of exploded. So that's why Alex died, because shortly after he died, the rest of us died.
Quite sad. We had to have a 4-week funeral.
Yeah. So anyway, where were we? Yeah, Epic wants to use exclusives from Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft. Laugh track. Yeah.
J. Jonah image.
Like, nice try. Imagine.
Imagine, dude.
They've kind of got Sony because Sony's like, we're putting older exclusive games on there. Well, with announced sequels, but nothing like God of War.
Yeah.
And they're putting it on both Steam and Epic.
Imagine if imagine seeing Mario Odyssey on the Epic Game Store. What a
Gross.
whirlwind that would be, right?
Ooh.
Nasty, dude.
I want to be in there when Epic goes, hey, can we put your games on there? And Nintendo just laughs at their face too.
Yeah, not happening, buddy. Not until Nintendo has at least
It would take
2 or 3 failed consoles in a row.
Nintendo has said in the past it would take 3 Wii U's for them to consider doing something else
Yeah.
in a row. They're like, we have money.
No, Nintendo likes doing hardware. So
Because they get all the money.
Yeah, you get more money making your own hardware.
well, other companies don't. Nintendo's stingy. They make money. So like Sony sells each PS5 at a huge loss, but
True.
the money comes from making the software.
I mean,
Nintendo's already stated that they make money on every Switch console.
Yeah,
they're
because
selling.
they lost money on the Wii U and they lost money on the 3DS. Because they
Yeah.
had to sell them at losses.
Yeah. But that's industry standard usually. Companies usually sell their hardware at a loss and then make so much money on the software and the publishing rights and all that stuff. Because that's where most of the money is.
Yeah, and Nintendo went, we don't need 4K. We can actually make money on our consoles.
Yeah. So, now imagine how much they would sell if they took what if they sold it at $200 for the big model, and then like $150 for the Switch Lite. Like they would take
Don't
they
think
would
it
take
would
a
sell
loss
much
on it.
better.
I think
I
it
can't
it
imagine.
would. I think it would. I mean, like it's already selling like hotcakes, but now like at 200, like imagine if a Switch Lite was
Look.
$100.
They don't have to drop it because it's already on track.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have to.
Pass the DS and PS2.
But this is like this would be like the 2DS. Like when people were like iffy on getting into a Nintendo handheld, you'd be like, bro, you can literally get a 2DS and a game for $80. Like you can get a console and a game for $80. That was insane.
Yeah, but
especially for
they did
kids.
it
Now you've got
because-
more. Like now you'd sell like more parents on
That's true.
stuff. Like not just people like us who are like iffy about it, but like a lot of parents that can't necessarily afford stuff like this for their kids. Now you can buy a Switch Lite for them for $100 freaking dollars. That would be insane.
I don't know. It
I
might
can see
sell
it.
better, but when you're on track to pass the 2 best selling, you don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, no. We're trying. I'm just. This is a suggestion for the casual
Football.
market. If you're trying to get into the casual market,
They certainly have been trying to maintain the casual.
I don't know how you would downsize the Switch anymore, though. Like they already made the 3DS be sold at loss because they sold it at full price, and it didn't sell.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it'd be different if the Switch was doing as poorly as the 3DS was at launch.
yeah,
it would
definitely.
not be good if the Switch had opened to a 3DS style
No, it'd be fine.
dropping price. Well,
We
yeah,
just have
now,
one
like,
more console. before they consider doing anything else.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like if Nintendo was like, all right, we're going kind of third party, I could see them being like,
We're gonna make our own
even
launcher.
though there's a slight because of Sony, I could kind of see them first going, okay, we'll work with Sony.
Yeah, I could see them sticking to consoles. Be like, we'll put it on Xbox and PlayStation instead.
Mostly Xbox.
No, I actually
Or
think
not
mostly
Xbox, PlayStation.
PlayStation because
Japan.
it's Japanese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd see that. Or they would.
I just
I would.
feel
I
like
could see
that's
them
more
making their
likely.
own launcher on PC, like the Nintendo launcher.
I feel like PCs, we've tried everything else, but we still want to be a corporation before we get bought out.
Yeah,
I think PC's the absolute last resort because Japan's like, who cares? They don't like PC games over there.
I think that's a big false. But they also like consoles way more than we do. But they still like PCs. Anyway, World's End Club demo is up on the eShop. So cool.
Yeah.
Alex just went frozen again. I feel like we're impending doom for a second time.
Did I go frozen? I wasn't.
Oh no,
speaking.
your voice thing stayed on. So when I saw it, I was like, I think we're about to do this all over again.
I got you.
On the edge of our seats. But yeah, World's End Club demo is now up on the eShop if you're interested for that.
I have not gotten the chance to play it, but that's coming out later this month, right?
I believe so.
So definitely give it a try if you're thinking about picking it up. It's from the team that made Danganronpa.
And the other one that my mind's not going to, and I played it. 999.
Bandai Namco registered new trademarks for Baten Kaitos and Baten Kaitos Origins in Europe. So that's cool.
No clue.
GameCube. They were GameCube exclusives, apparently.
I see.
Layton's Mystery Journey Cottrell and the Millionaire's Conspiracy Deluxe Edition Plus, that's the title, is announced for Switch.
Just for Japan right now, though.
Oh.
And Alex, you mentioned something about
Oh yeah, it said on the thing because I looked into it. If you own the version already released for Switch, you can buy the new
which
content
I just bought
for
a couple weeks
DLC
ago.
if it's released here. Level 5's
That
had
kind of
weird
sucked.
problems with America
Hmm.
recently because they're like kind of hurting a lot, so they've kind of
Because they
stopped
won't release any
production
big games.
and they've stopped production in everywhere but Japan.
Big round of applause for the original Animal Crossing finally getting into the Hall of Fame, the video game Hall of
Let's
Fame.
go.
Clap, clap, clap.
Yeah. Wait, which Animal Crossing? Animal
GameCube.
And
Forest?
the GameCube
got
Animal
you.
Crossing.
I mean, this is the same game.
Yeah, I mean it's the same.
Kinda.
It's the best way
For
to
the
represent
most
the
part,
zero,
yeah.
the original thing. Elon Musk hosted Saturday Night Live and played Wario in a court scene about Mario being murdered in Mario Kart, and it's bad and very cringe, but also entertaining. I mean, if you're a cringe guy,
Like Grant.
then yeah, like me,
That
then you
is
should definitely watch it
beyond
because it is
E3
horrible.
cringe, dude. That is beyond E3 cringe. Like,
It's that same flavor. It might be a little more
No,
intense. It's more
that
intense,
is
but it's the same. It's the
bad.
same flavor of just people that don't quite know what they're doing, but they've got a
And then
general
they do
idea of it, and they just try to wing it. And like that's the point of SNL is like to have the live stuff where it's just kind of winged. You know, like you just go for it. So it's more intense cringe than E3, but it's the same flavor. And if you're into that stuff, I highly recommend watching it. It's only like 6 minutes long. So yeah, that was a.
I don't know if I could survive 6 minutes.
It's a rough
of
6
E3
minutes.
cringe.
It's a very rough 6 minutes.
I was like, maybe I'll check it out, and then you said
No.
6 minutes, and I was like, oh my god.
I think I watched-
I
would-
watched 3 minutes of it, and I got everything I needed to know out of it for the show anyway.
I watched the most cringe part. I'm fairly certain because someone had posted it as a affront against nature.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Stadia product head John Justice has left Google. Stadia is dead. We've said this so many times.
Whoa!
Stadia's dead.
Crab wrap.
Crap, bro.
The Yakuza series will stay a turn-based RPG going forward. And apparently Nintendo has banned all Japanese partners from working with the Yakuza.
So
In
that's
Japan?
just like normal in Japan.
Yeah.
Like
Makes
they
sense.
don't want the Yakuza getting money. It's like mobs here, but
Yeah.
we're bad.
Same thing. And okay, so for our finishing topic, Nintendo released a bunch of physical numbers and their report for 2020, and they are big. We're talking biggie numbers, boys. Biggie numbers.
Big Yoshi.
So we have officially outsold the Game Boy Advance. RIP, the Game Boy Advance. So what's left? The Game Boy and Game Boy Color is included in that. The Wii and the DS.
And we're on track to pass the DS, which is crazy.
So that means we're on track to beat the PS2, because
Yeah.
the PS2 only has like another million. I think they're at 155.
Yeah,
or something
it's on
like
track to pass both. Which, when's the last time you heard someone thing going for that record?
It's been a while. Like,
Yeah.
look, let's think about this. The PS2 managed to beat the DS because it was on the market for 15 years. It may not have been on our market, but there was a market somewhere in the world where it was being sold by Sony. So,
I mean,
This
yeah,
is-
like it. Like I know there's the cliche joke. It's just a DVD player, and it is. That's partially why it's sold
that's
so
why it
well.
sold so well.
Yeah, it was a cheap DVD player at the beginning of
play
the
games.
DVD.
Yeah. Well, that's
it
the
was
same
200
reason.
bucks for
That's
a
the
DVD
same reason
player.
the DS went so well. Not because it could play DVDs. No, because they went. It's because they went for the casual market. That's what the PS2 did. That's what the DS did. When you hit the casual market, that's when you make big bucks. You slap a camera on a thing back when cameras on things were cool, and man, you got 150 units sold, 150 million units sold. You put a DVD player in a thing when DVDs were cool, 150 million. So this will be really cool in the fact that it's not any of those things.
Yeah,
It's
it
not.
doesn't.
It's not.
It's a
Like,
little
there's-
casual, but
Well, yeah,
there's
like
casual games.
Nintendo's always been the casual system. Like if
fair,
there's people that aren't into video games and they get a thing, it's usually a Nintendo handheld.
yeah, Nintendo looks at all the markets, casual, hardcore, whatever, and they're like, we can do all of that.
Because
it
the
depends
only
on
other
the
Nintendo
generation.
console to cross 100 million was the original Game Boy line. And what did they do? They made Pokemon and went for the casuals. All the kids
Well,
just wanted one now
And
because
the Wii,
The
did it,
Wii passed it.
I said
which was
I
casuals.
was about to get to the Wii. For the same reason, the casuals. They were like, "Hey, Grandpa, you can play bowling now at your house,"
And they did.
Sold. Yeah, Game Boy. Here's Pokemon. 8-year-olds everywhere shat their pants, wanting one of
True.
these things, including me. So that's the first. I mean, like Nintendo obviously has the casual side for like people that just are kind of, wanting a thing to play. But there's no like big thing. Like there's no basic sports game, or like they're not making motion controls for the first time. There's no camera on it. There's no like it's just a portable console that's
System.
more powerful than what we normally come to expect from portable consoles. And boom. So yeah, we're 4 years in and at almost 85 million units. That's insane. That is insane.
What did the? Hold on. What was the last sales number we got for the PS4?
It's way over 100 million.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so
you remember
as
when they made it?
of-
They made a PS4 Pro dedicated to the 114.19 million units as of late January.
No. That's. I think that might be earlier. So it's. PS4 is also up there, but it's not gonna be hitting.
The PlayStation 4 right now is at 115.9 million as of the updated list of best-selling video game consoles on
Okay.
Wikipedia, and it is I think it was at number 4. Or
Yeah,
it's at
it
number
should be up
4,
there.
so it's right under the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. So yeah, the Switch
But
is also
that's
also
gonna
beat out the
stop.
Xbox 360. That's the other thing it beat out from the last numbers. and also the PSP. So the next milestone is PlayStation 3, which will be demolished because it's only like 3 million away from that. And then
that'll
after the
probably be the next
PS3, if it
console.
hits another milestone, it's the 100 million milestone after the PS3.
I don't expect that for in 2021.
I expect
I
it.
could
So we've done
About the
what
time
we've
they
got.
announced
We've got
the
4 years,
Pro.
about like ishy 20 million a year. So I would expect it. Fiscal report of 2021, we will see 100 million consoles.
Unless they release something crazy, I expect like 20 million sales.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as much
'cause
as
that's average.
but it has to be
Every year
something
it's
huge, dude.
yeah.
Like that.
Which-
That's the thing.
There's a good chance.
I mean, they want to ship out
the-
like 30 million this year.
I mean,
The
even if it's a Switch
PS3
Pro, it's still a Switch.
The PS3
So-
doing as well as it did towards the end of its life is still crazy to me.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
the only
I
PlayStation
remember-
to not hit 100 million.
Yeah. But I remember when people were like, ha! Microsoft won that generation, and Sony eventually passed them.
Yeah. Six of the top 10 bestsellers on Switch have sold over 20 million copies. Which is
Right.
2 of them have sold over 30.
Yeah,
Yep.
Animal Crossing's about to pass Mario Kart in a year.
Well,
I doubt it.
Animal
it's like
Crossing,
3 million difference.
true.
Yeah, but it's been like that
Animal
for a
Crossing
while,
Also, doesn't
but-
have the long term.
We'll see.
It'll do well, but it doesn't have as
Yeah, I mean,
quite a
it'll give
long-term.
Mario Kart a run for its money, I think. But Mario Kart is the like when you think of a Nintendo console, Mario Kart comes to you before Animal Crossing because Nintendo's also, along with being the casual console, has always been the multiplayer local console, and Mario Kart is the staple of that genre. So, you know, I'm surprised it's only 1 in 3 people that own a Switch have Mario Kart 8 because that's like usually a 1-to-1 almost, or at least like 1 in 2 or something, you know.
I think it's more like people have a Switch because they don't want to share, but people still have like treat it as a home console.
Yeah, you don't need
So it's
multiple
not
copies. You don't really need
same.
multiple copies of Mario Kart in
Yeah, that's true.
Your house.
Yeah. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is now on the top 10 best-selling games of all time. Which
Well, no,
is,
not
is number
8 Deluxe.
It's
8
like 8
and
and
Deluxe.
yeah, 8 and 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 is now on the top 10 best-selling games of all time at number 8. And I thought it was something fun to note here that 6 out of the 10 top 10 best-selling games of all time are tied to Nintendo in some way.
Yeah,
A lot of
Tetris
this is
on there twice.
yeah. Well, there's the EA Tetris, and there's the Nintendo Tetris. Nintendo Tetris, they're both on there, but also the only one that is like, or the only, I wouldn't say that. GTA 5 has a lot of pack-in syndrome. Wii Sports has a ton of pack-in syndrome.
True, right.
Mario Bros has a ton of pack-in syndrome. Red, Green, and Blue don't, but that was like what that was what I was talking about. Like, so it was like when Tamagotchi happened. It's just tons of people bought it.
Yeah, and
Wii
the
Fit
difference is,
wasn't
though,
pack-in syndrome, but that was the casual market, like we talked about. And Tetris was pack-in syndrome because that's what sold the Game Boy.
yeah, Mario Kart's really the only one that didn't have major pack-in syndrome. It got some on the Wii U.
And it's gotten
Well,
some
like
on
some
the
on
all
the
Switch.
of all of
Switch.
these games have some pack-in syndrome to a degree. It's just
except
varying.
for PUBG.
No, PUBG has bundles. There's bundles.
Yeah.
Does it?
I mean,
It
yeah,
does.
that's what I'm saying. It's very
Well-
small because it's like you could buy an Xbox One S with PUBG on it. Like that's not.
That's weird.
But it's the same way as in like Mario Kart 8 has pack-in syndrome. Like there's some bundles you can get with it, but it's not. It's not like Wii Sports level or like Tetris level or whatever. Like also Minecraft has some bundles. Like there's a Minecraft new 3DS. There's a Minecraft PS Vita. There's a Minecraft Xbox One S. Like there's Minecraft things, but they're not the reason that Minecraft has 200 million copies sold. You know.
I don't know. That DS is very
Yeah,
tempting.
that Japan only 2DS XL was the reason.
Yeah.
I wish that wasn't region locked. I would buy it so hard if it was not region locked.
Right.
True.
That's what kills me about the 3DS.
Yeah.
There's no
Because
reason
they're
3DS
so
should be
much cheaper
region
from
locked.
Japan. I mean, there is, but yeah.
Plans are being explored for other animations like the Mario movie and the Illuminations boss nominated to join Nintendo's board of directors. So speaking of all this Nintendo stuff, the movie is causing waves right now.
They
I'm-
must be really impressed with the movie
Dude.
as it's moving along if they're doing that move.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, Boss Baby with the Mario Brothers.
I hope the movie's
That
good.
sounds terrible.
I'm gonna be upset if it's really trash.
Dude, yeah.
Like they turn Toad into minions. That would be upsetting to me.
Yeah. That'd be bad.
Honestly, I hope it's good so that way we can have like the Smash Brothers like, ooh, that'd be cool.
Did you just say you want Boss Baby and Smash Bros?
No, I want
Yo.
a movie. No, I want a movie with Boss Baby and the Mario Brothers, and they save the world.
Why would you want that?
I just
You
think
are
that.
a cursed man.
How about Big Yoshi?
The movie?
Next, yes, and featuring Knuckles the Hedgehog.
And
Give me
Knack
a-
2.
and that too.
Knack 2, baby.
And Dante from Devil May Cry.
With a new funky mode. So yeah, looking at the numbers, that's averaging about 21 million units a year. So even if it's only 20 million this next year, and like scalping's going to continue to happen, gaming's going to continue to get bigger, because COVID just kind of sparked this whole gaming revolution, and now everybody's into gaming. And you know, your first
Yeah, it's so
stop
weird.
on buying a console is looking at what Nintendo currently has, because they're just it's like you go like when you buy a car, the first thing you look at is a Toyota or a Honda, because like people just know those names, or like a Ford, like people go to that. So when you think of a gaming console, you think Nintendo or PlayStation.
Kinda.
Now really those are the first things you look at. Like, do you want, like, what does Nintendo have, what does Sony have, let me see what I think, and then nobody thinks about Xbox.
It's weird when you grew up, or we grew up, and gaming was like kind of frowned on.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
still kind
so
of frowned on.
like weird that we've grown up in this shift of looking at games as like a lazy millennial thing to do that doesn't matter, to now like even old people are playing video games.
Yeah.
And like I've heard some great stories from my buddies up here when their parents come down and visit, because my buddies have the Valve Index, which like the newest PC VR set, and they've got a racing chair like that they built with like the steering wheel and the shifter and the pedals and all that. So and you can do that in VR. So
That's
when their parents come over and they see this, they just love that. Like one of their moms saw that they had like a flight simulator with VR, and she played that for like 4 hours, and then like saw you could do. She was like also really into cars. So when she saw they had Forza Horizon 4 with a full racing setup IRL, she was like, I'm going to do that. She played it for like 5 hours. Like,
That's insane, dude.
yeah. I can't blame her. That is fun, bro. Playing a racing like playing a racing game with an actual like with like car controls is next level cool. I really wish I had one of my own. But
That's
yeah, I mean, I'm just, first portable console, shocker, it's selling like hotcakes. And also I think it plays in that today's day is looking for portable tech. Portable is
True.
the thing. People are always busy nowadays, always on the go, and now you make a gaming console that can do that. That's not severely crippled in terms of its graphical power compared to its home console counterparts. Like it still is, but this is not like 3DS level different. Like, like you got to be into gaming to really enjoy a 3DS stuff. But like Switch is super basic. Like and more of a linear translation to like home console handheld.
Look, Switch, Nintendo may have completely botched the Wii U's marketing, but right out of the gate, the Switch's marketing was completely on
We
point.
wouldn't
See,
have
I
the
feel like
we wouldn't have the Switch if
since-
the Wii U wasn't a bad thing.
I feel like since
Absolutely.
2017, I haven't seen as many trailers. I feel like I always saw trailers for the Wii U, and while the Switch was very heavily loaded with trailers at the front, I feel like I haven't seen many
Trailers or
since.
commercials?
Both.
I've seen lots of commercials. I've seen I've seen Switch commercials on the Super Bowl, and like, when's the last time you saw a Nintendo commercial on the Super Bowl? What are they gonna
True.
What are they gonna sell to you? Wonderful 101? Get out of here. But yeah, I like that they got the Switch on commercials. Whenever there's a new game about to come up, I swear I get so many ads on YouTube that are like 8 minutes long. That's like the full Pokemon Snap trailer. I got that so many times. I've gotten ads before where it's just the entire Nintendo Direct, like a 40-minute ad
Oh my god.
Yeah.
of the Nintendo Direct. That's what it is. There's no like explanation. It's not different at
Our
all.
dad
It's
got
literally
an
just
ad that was an
copy-paste.
entire like hour and a half episode of some random show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Nintendo's they're pushing the ads more now.
Yeah.
And that's partially because again the Wii U thing. I mean, like you go back and watch a Wii U commercial, you're like, what the heck am I supposed to buy?
Go back and watch
Hey,
the
the
original.
Christmas one
Smash
was
Bros.
kinda fun, though.
Which one?
The Christmas, where it's like the three links are running around.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking more to the ones where it's like kids cringily trying to pitch a Wii U to their parents and why
Oh,
they should
those are
buy it.
hilarious.
Yeah, those are so bad.
They're the cringe I like.
I like the one with
I-
Steve from.
I tried to watch this.
But no, you go, Alex.
Okay, while we were crashed, I looked into the SNL thing. I didn't even last 30 seconds because the laugh track killed me. I can't stand laugh tracks, especially ones like that.
Yeah, that's just kind of a mark of an older generation making that kind of content.
We must tell you when to laugh,
Hmm.
but it's
Please
not funny.
stop.
But yeah, so I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this week. Nintendo's doing big stuff, and this time next year we'll probably be telling you about how they crossed the 100 million mark. So
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
I also hate that we actually can't see how well the PS5 and Xbox Series X are selling right now because they're selling like they're the best selling consoles of all time right now because they're being scalped. Like every console made gets sold, so you can't really tell
Yeah, they're
what's
like
actually happening.
they're selling out like crazy. I'm like, but are they selling out because they're good, or are they selling out because scalpers won't?
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like,
Also, it's kind of hard to tell early in a. Sorry to interrupt you like that. It's really
No,
hard to
you're
tell in the beginning of a
just early
generation
on.
because
Yeah, 'cause
everybody's
Switch was
buying
being
them anyway.
scalped.
Yeah. Well, even like if they're not being scalped, everyone's buying them at launch because the hype's there. I mean, the Wii U
Mhm.
probably sold really well for the first like week. You know, you just can't tell at the beginning because the hype is there. Everyone's buying them. So we just have to
Especially
give
with
it more
scalpers,
time.
though.
Yeah. Scalpers only makes it worse.
Yeah, this is just hard to tell.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for the show this week. We thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please share us with a friend. We have episodes every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Central Time. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.com/StormwindGames. Follow us on Twitter at AllNightGamers, night with a K. Leave a comment on the YouTube version. Tell us what do you think of Nintendo's sales numbers and how nuts they are. And also, if you're worried about your 3DS cartridges all of a sudden just biting the dust one day, and then you're going to have to play Triforce Heroes on an emulator.
That sounds even worse.
That's what I mean. So, yeah, do let us know what you think.
Oh,
What do you got?
I'm sorry. And if you've been playing Resident Evil 8, let us know on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/StormwindGames.
Yeah, let us know what you think of Resident Evil 8 and Apex Legends Season 9 as well. So we
Yes,
thank you guys.
sir.
We thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you back next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
I
Bye.